Welcome to the Block Sitdown. This is the Buckeye fan film room, and we back, and it's the off season, so we got a lot of things to talk about: transfer portal, spring ball, interviews, Iron Buckeyes, Black Stripes, all the traditions, and all of that. Cause we do it best. What was the saying? Developed here. This is where
Mm,
it's developed at.
developed
This off
here.
season, a lot of things to talk about. And we've been gone for a couple months, but we back. I'm gonna get it shaking, bro. I guess I'm the host ish now. VJ's gonna do the intro next time though, so be looking forward to that. You're a little under the weather, as am I. I'm probably gonna be like choking up, probably gonna be sniffling. Gonna try not to let y'all hear that. But it is what it is. And just bear with us. But yeah, a lot of things to talk about, a lot of additions to talk about. We're gonna start off with the coaching staff.
Mm,
But how are y'all doing? Actually,
okay.
how we do that?
Yeah,
VJ's under the weather. Slicks, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm chilling. Apparently like the change of weather is affecting everybody. So far, I'm good. Usually that's what affects me too.
Not
Usually,
last week.
oh yeah, last week yeah, the headache
Oh,
took me out. I mean, it was just a
yeah,
headache,
yeah,
but yeah.
yeah. Nah, you pass it off to me.
All right, I wasn't even in the vicinity, but sure, that's how that works. But I'm
That's
chilling.
how it works, man.
But yeah.
VJ, anything? Got a minute? Minimize. Okay, okay. Let's get into it. Let's get into the coaching staff. The biggest thing that happened, probably one of the biggest things, was Arthur Smith being hired
Mm,
as offensive coordinator. As y'all know, last year Brian Hartline was calling the plays. Ryan Day had to step in a little bit at the end. Nothing really helped though, because we ended up losing two straight. But it is what it is. Arthur Smith, another NFL coordinator, jumping down to the Buckeyes, bro. We got another one. Hopefully, he's gonna be around for a long time. We don't know though. But we do know he's here. And he's ready to work. As a Falcons fan, as you go see back there, that little stuffed animal back there is a Falcon. Supposed to be. Yeah, he coached my team for a couple years. And my biggest thoughts is like people are gonna look at this and there's still a fan over there with that terrible talent, whatever it's called. And he knows a lot about Arthur Smith because he was recently the offensive coordinator of the Steelers. But I think me and VJ talked about it. It was basically like Arthur Smith didn't really have the tools in the NFL. Like I'm looking at my lineups and I'm like, damn, 2021, 2022 was probably the worst years for the Falcons. I didn't like watching football around that time because the team was so bad. And Arthur Smith was the head coach around that time. Yeah, I had to watch Marcus Mariota, Taylor Heineke, and yeah, I didn't want to live life around that time. But it is what it is. But it's Arthur Smith, and he's the one that made Derrick Henry the 2K rusher when he was in Tennessee. So he's basically jumped in this lineup. And when he had tools like a Derrick Henry, he was able to get 2K yards out of him. When he was on my team, he was able to make these random wide receivers get 700 yards when that was the peak of their career. They never touched 700 yards after that. He made two of my running backs actually look good. Shout out Cordero Patterson. He wasn't that good, but Arthur Smith is a running back technician, and he's an offense coordinator at the end of the day. And last year, Jalen Warren was that guy for the Steelers, and he got the best out of Kenneth Gainwell as well, another running back, and he's just a running back guru. What that says about us is Ryan Day knows how to coordinate an offense, but Arthur Smith is there to help with the tight ends, to help with the running backs, help with the in betweens. And Arthur Smith, this is just one of them things where it's like offense coordinator in NFL jumps down to the college level. It should be a cakewalk, bro. Look at Matt Patricia last year. Look what he did with that defense. Arthur Smith should do something similar to the offense because his role should be very minimal. And I'm very excited for this because this means we committed a lot of money to Bo Jackson during the offseason. There was a little rumors going around that Bo Jackson basically asked for like $1 million or 1.5 or something like that, and Ryan Day was looking around, said, I don't know where that money's coming from, but it's not gonna be my pocket or fucking bro's pocket in the back. We're good off that. But we ended up meeting in the middle. I think it was like 700K or something like that, and it's for Bo Jackson. This is a freshman running back asked for that money. It was kind of crazy on his end, but we ended up finding an agreement. Bo Jackson's gonna be out for spring ball. Isaiah West, our second running back, is going to be out for spring ball. Those are two running backs as of right now that are going to be out. And that's what Arthur Smith has to play with. There's also a couple of new recruiting guys and transfer guys that he's going to be able to work with as well. But his main focal point is running backs and tight ends. And Ryan D loves his tight ends. We got to keep 7 on the roster and use fucking 4 of them to block on a play. You got to love Ohio State, but you got to love Ryan Day because he knows how to win games. And if that means 4 tight ends on the field at the time, I'm fine, bruh, because, at the end of the day, the score for us is usually more than the opponent at the end of the game, and that's all that matters. Slicks, anything to add?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, with Arthur Smith coming in from the Steelers, hopefully he stays. Luckily for us, Matt Patricia stayed. Who knows how long that'll last? You know, if he can continue getting number one defense again, it's hard for an NFL team not to look for him, right? Same thing with Arthur Smith. Hopefully he stays, but then again, it's one of those things. You know, NFL coaches, they drop down to college level, they perform, and they immediately on to the next level. So we just gotta see how it goes. But hopefully everything will well. Obviously, you already touched up on it, Arthur Smith, you know, that tight end, running back guru, as you were saying earlier. And then obviously Ryan Day, we all know him. I mean, like I said, he be developing these QBs. He is an air raid type of guy. So it's like now you have somebody who's, you know, worried about that run offense, could, you know, fill that pocket for him. But, you know, Ryan Day obviously over the years been trying to like learn that and implement that more into his scheme. But one thing for sure that we can never doubt is Ryan Day, he's going to get it done through the air if need to. So obviously Julian Sand coming back. I mean, he had to come back, and we'll see what that season entails. So I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully it misses well, hopefully, with Arthur Smith and Ryan Day.
Yeah, you kind of touched on it. Matt Patricia did get a little extension, little being $3.5 million, I think a year, like a salary. And pretty much from what I can hear from Matt Patricia is he loves like Columbus. He loves you know just being here. I mean, he's working well here. I think his family is the most important thing,
Yeah.
and they like it. So I think that's the biggest thing for him. As long as we're able to finally keep a coordinator for more than 2 seasons, I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
And yeah, no rest of the country. It didn't bode well at the end, but it is what it is. And now he has time to do better somehow. I don't know how. Made history here. So shout out Matt Patricia. Moving on to our next coach that we need to talk about, Cortez Hankton. Cortez Hankton, he is our wide receiver coach. He's the Brian Hartline replacement. And in this interview and in most other interviews with Brandon Ennis, Jeremiah Smith, Ryan Day, they all talked about the story of getting Cortez. It was basically a situation where Ryan Day had a lot of people in this basket of sorts of who he wanted to go after to replace Brian Hartline, and he went to Jeremiah Smith, Brandon Ennis, and Carnell Tate at the time. Hey, if y'all got any recommendations, let me know. And basically they were like, hey, this guy that when we were coming out of high school, he was always in our back pocket, in our messages, always talking to us a lot. We did end up going to his school. I think Cortez was either at Georgia at that time or maybe just got to LSU. But those are the two spots that he was at, developing the wide receivers. He has, I think, like I think it's 4 NFL wide receivers that's in the league right now. And obviously, when everybody chose the Buckeyes over Cortez's team, they all still showed love. Cortez was like, hey, you made the right decision because it's your decision. And he just kept it in that back pocket. And when the time was ready for Ryan Day, he was like, hey, I got this name for you. And basically Jeremiah Smith Brandon threw this name out, and he was like, hey, I'll go check it out, and if I don't like it, I'll tell y'all why, but I'll at least check it out just because I respect y'all. And that's just the culture Ryan Day builds with his players. So shout out him, and look at it ended up working out. And even Carnell Tate, basically Ryan Day was talking about, like, even after Carnell Tate the season was already done and over with, it still seemed like Carnell was still around. And they still always talking about it, about the Cortez Hankton hire, and how it's just basically like the reason Kyle Parker, another guy we're going to talk about from LSU, he basically came over. Cortez brought him over, and LSU was wide receiver U for a while now. And again, we bring in the best we possibly can, and it worked out for Ryan Day. And in this interview during the spring ball practice, he basically talked about what he wanted to do to make this better. He basically started glazing Ohio State a little bit about the culture and everything. I'm all for it. But one thing I didn't really agree with, he basically was talking about, like, hey guys, we need to have more fun out there and all that. I don't know about y'all, but motherfuckers getting paid now, bruh. This is a job. Jeremiah Smith's chasing $100 million contracts in the NFL. We don't got time of happy fun time, bruh. Maybe it wasn't the most significant thing, but when I heard an interview, I'm like, buddy, this is Ohio State, bro. If you lose one game, bro, everybody's on your ass. We can't. There's no happy, joy, fun time. No, not around here, bro. You can smile in practice, but when we get out to that field, bro, I understand having fun, but it's fun when you win games. Another thing he talked about was the yards after a catch. He basically, when Cortez got the job, he basically went back and looked at last year and probably previous years of, like, Brandon Ennis and Jeremiah Smith from their freshman years all the way up to right now. And he basically took a look at Jeremiah's, and I think the stats support this as well, where Jeremiah's yards after catch was basically down. I think it was like a 4 point something. freshman year to 3 point something last year, and he basically went to Jeremiah Smith and Brandon Ennis A. And it was Brandon Ennis touched on it a little bit more in his interview where he was like, Brandon Ennis, like you had these breaks, you could have did this. He was basically coaching Brandon Ennis a little bit more. But for Jeremiah Smith and basically the whole wide receiver room, yards after catch is very important, and this is something that we need to like be more make it more important in this room, which I think is good, man. As long as like he can come in and just see where we might be lacking at and just add a little bit more, that's all we need him to do. We're not asking him to do Brian Hartline type things, but you already got like this is wide receiver you. All you need to do is jump in and just make everything. You get the 5-star, bro. We got Chris Henry Jr. this year. You know, Jameer Brown's following after. We're gonna have a 4-star after that, probably a 5-star after that. You just need to do your little thing, your 1s and 2s. And if Jeremiah Smith's back in it, Brandon Ennis is back in it, Carnell Tate's back in it, I'm all for it for now. How we feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, you basically hit it right on the spot. Cortez, with him, obviously, when we all found the news, Brian Hartline moving on, going to USF, right? USF, right? Yeah, USF, and it's like, damn, who is it to replace Brian Hartline? Because obviously, Brian Hartline, he built that pipeline. It's back to back years, just first round wide receiver, and touch on one of them wide receiver, Jackson Smith-Njigba. What did he do this year? He won that Super Bowl. So it's like, that's what everybody in this Ohio State room has basically looking for, to get into that next level and chasing that Super Bowl. And obviously, with Brian Hartline leaving this year, everybody else that came through that pipeline. I mean, we've seen it a little bit with Chris Henry Jr. He was like, hold on, I gotta put my recruitment on pause real quick because I'm trying to get to the next level. And who was there building that pipeline? Brian Hartline. So now it's like, have to take a step back, and then with Ryan Dave, finding like Cortez, for Cortez, that obviously he's not Brian Hartline, obviously, but it's like it's not the worst pick. He has the result. He has for whatever number you said earlier with wide receiver in the league already. So it's like he's not just no random out on the street that it's like he's available, and he made these wide receiver fucking, I don't know, for example, like 10 years ago. But no, he's still relevant now, and honestly, I don't know if they're the better pick, but as of now, this pick couldn't have been any better.
It might have been 4 current wide receivers, but this is his track record. These are more recent. Malik Neighbors, Ryan Thomas Jr., George Pickens. Those are 3 big hitters. And then 3 in the 2019 draft. Mecole Hardman. This is where he was at Georgia. Riley Ridley and Terry Godwin. I know Terry Godwin.
Yeah,
but, those are 6 NFL wide receivers, and this is the 2 most prestigious colleges in the South, being LSU and Georgia. So yeah, shout out Cortez for that. Hopefully he can just come in here and just keep developing and keep doing his thing. But another thing that Brandon Ennis kind of touched on in his interview, was the Cortez thing. He basically said that like Cortez is the type, he's gonna call you out like kind of like in the middle of the room and stuff, and that's what Brian Hartline did. But he's also gonna like, hey, stay after class or stay after, and I'm gonna really like, we're really gonna break this shit down. Like you missed it right here, and you fucked up right here. He said he really gets on you when it's 1-on-1. But we'll do it in front of everybody, but not as bad as it is 1-on-1. And that's something that's different from Brian Hartline. Brian Hartline would just call your ass out in front of everybody. I just thought that was important, a little interesting. And Brandon Ennis also talked about his goals for this year, and it's pretty significant. It's just like he's obviously a captain, one of the guys that sat around until senior year, and this is very rare for this type of college football that's around right now. 4 years at one school is very rare for the transfer portal, and there's probably definitely more opportunities out there. Probably teams pursuing him, even though he hasn't had the most production on the field. He's a 5-star, been around for 4 years, came in the same draft class or same recruiting class as Carnell Tate, and he said he's looking to be a first-round pick, just like Carnell Tate and just like everybody before him. And I hope he could do it. But there's definitely, this wide receiver room is going to be deep, and he's going to be challenged. If he's on that field, as much as Carnell was last year, being a wide receiver too, that means he's earned it in practice. And just because you got that captain badge don't mean anything, especially when them NFL scouts get there. You got to make sure them hands is ready. And especially I hope Cortez can really get on him and make sure and push him to the forefront, bro, because we know Jeremiah is going to be number 1, first overall pick or first round pick at least. And Brandon Ennis should be right there with him, bro, because you're going to be a standout if you're not first round pick and you went to Ohio State as a wide receiver. That's just the type of bar we set. here. And now moving on to Jeremiah Smith's interview again, talked about the Cortez thing, talked about Bi and his goals for the year, but he also talked about that there was a team after the Miami loss that was pursuing him, and he said, in quotations, I think everybody here knows who it was, and people are thinking Miami threw the bag at him because they're throwing 15 million to Darian Mensah and shit or wherever the fucking money is. But he did go into the comments and said, "Never said Miami. Y'all stop doing stuff for clicks."
Ooh.
Laughing emojis and face palms. So I don't know what he's talking about, bro. I don't know why. Like, yo, people are gonna assume, bro, if you don't say the name, bro, I think you should say the name. If it's that team up north, bro, just let it be known, man. I don't know. But it's just interesting. Because I'm like, yo, they pursuing him right after that. And he also said in his interview that there was never no doubt that he wasn't coming back to Ohio State. It didn't even cross his mind. But hey, who knows, bro? Another thing at the end of the interview, they basically asked him, like, everybody's talking about Earl Little. He's gonna be our transfer. What's it called? Transfer safety. He's gonna be. I'm pretty sure in the nickel. I'm pretty sure. But when he was asked about Earl Little, it was like a long pause and was like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna hide my hand real quick, but he's a great player type thing. He basically didn't want to reveal too much, but if there was any other player, he also gave it to Jay Timmons, bro. I think Jay Timmons is gonna play like some type of dime, somewhere in there in the secondary. But if we already hearing about Jay Timmons, bro, and this is a guy we stole from Florida State, bro. Earl Little from Florida State last year transferred over here. He was a Florida State commit. Jay Timmons was, and we flipped him last second and got him over here. I was happy for him. I was happy to have him because. I ain't gonna lie, I've seen his tape. I like him a lot, but he gave us props, and they talked about freshmen standing on defense, and that's Jay Timmons, bro, and that's very surprising with the Kari Waters and fucking Sincere Johnsons on his defense. I'm just glad, at least we getting something out of the recruiting class already, bro. That's so crazy to me. And yeah, talk about Chris Henry Jr. Chris Henry Jr. Has been getting first team reps. I don't know what that means. That's another thing Jeremiah Smith touched on. Jeremiah Smith basically said that Chris Henry Jr. is somebody that like he doesn't talk at. He's never met anybody that has talked less than him, bro. Like Jeremiah Smith basically said that like Chris Henry Jr. talks less than him. I don't know what the fuck that means, bro. Basically, Chris Henry Jr. is just got his head down and going to work, bro. This is fucking a 6'7" fucking wide receiver that could have played fucking basketball if he wanted to. But just was like, yeah, let me just go out there and fucking most receivers. Already doing that to Jermaine Matthews, sorry ass, bro. He's our quarterback one for this year. And he has to lock in, bro. I even watched Jermaine's interview and he's basically says he's got to fucking step up and it's the first time he ever fought adversity. Yeah, you got to lock in, buddy. You fucking what is he? Fucking 5'10", bro. Gotta lock in. But yeah, good thing he has Devin Sanchez to look forward to. And then finally, the final review I really wanted to get into. Maybe not actually, because there's other ones I gotta get into. But it was basically what's it called? It was damn, what the fuck was I looking for? James Smith. James Smith basically talked about him moving from the SEC to the Big Ten. James Smith came with his couple what's it called? Quay Russo. I don't know how you say it. But basically, James Smith said the intensity is almost like everything is so much faster in the Big Ten. In the SEC, we're big and kind of slower. Here, it's faster and more speed. We're trying to wear opponent down. The intensity is different. Everything's so intentional. I don't know what that means. Because I don't know how true that is. I don't know if he's glazing Ohio State ban because I don't know how true that is. Maybe it is in practice, but the Big Ten overall, I don't think that matches. But yeah, shout out James Smith. Shout out Caleb Downs. James Smith basically said he talked to Caleb Downs was like, hey, do I make the move with Ohio State up to Columbus? He was like, yeah, bro. Go ahead, bro. And basically he took his boyfriend and came up here and now they're gonna be on that line together. And yeah, I'm pretty sure James Smith is gonna be like next to Edgecuson on the line, bro. It's gonna be James Smith is gonna be a D tackle and Quay is gonna be on the edge, with Kenyatta on the edge as well. So yeah, shout out James Smith, shout out Quay. Again, we talk about fucking these transfers that's about to go crazy for us. Those two out of Alabama, we're just a pipeline from Alabama now. Julian Sayin, Caleb Downs, James Smith, Quay Russo, bro. So yeah,
keep it coming.
Finally, these are kind of the final interviews that I wanted to talk about. Basically, Ryan Day basically talked about him and Julian Sayin. And Julian Sayin kind of touched on it earlier, where it's kind of the obvious. We got to extend the play, bro. We got to use our legs a little bit more. And Julian's got to get better at that. Ryan Day come from Ryan Day's mouth. So yeah, and Julian Sain even said that as well. And it's kind of like a maturity thing going on in spring practice for me. I'm watching Julian Sain. You see the clips and everything. He seems like he got a little bit more maturity than him. I feel like he's not moving around like he's the quiet kid no more. You know,
Mm-hmm.
just like looking around like he's lost or something. Nah, I feel like he's moving around and he's actually like I've seen him have long talks with even Matt Patricia while he was warming up. I just think it's good things like that to show that you show some type of maturity and there's some type of jump in from going to a freshman to a sophomore, especially when you're a quarterback. You need that. So yeah, shout out our QB1, man. You need it. Now moving on to the next segment, we talked about the spring ball practices, and interviews, all the above for now. But let's go into the Iron Buckeyes. They were announced a couple weeks ago, and you got some surprises, but not some surprises. Jeremiah Smith being, I think, his third year in a row that he's an Iron Buckeye. You got Brennan Ennis right there with him, another team captain. And Brennan Ennis also talked about in his interview that he didn't go on a cruise ship because he had to be an Iron Buckeye or some shit. I guess if you go on a cruise ship, you can't be an Iron Buckeye. I'm like, I don't know why the interviewers a big thing like, oh, what, you didn't go on a cruise ship? Like, no, bro. I wanted to be Iron Buckeye. I'm like, yo, blazing. Anyways, Jalen McClain, opposite of Caleb Downs. Caleb Downs' counterpart, stopped a lot of plays. One of my favorite players to watch on his defense. He was also the Iron Buckeye. And then Garrett Stover. Garrett Stover, brother of Kay Stover, plays linebacker. I'm pretty sure he's in his third year right now. And he even got interviewed, and they were like, so what if they ask you to play tight end, or should you play tight end? Basically, because the linebacker room is stacked. He was like, I'll do anything to help the team win. I'm like, okay, I'll look out for that, man. Hopefully another Stover on a tight end can do something, bro. Because the other one got into the NFL. Could follow right after. Moving on. We got some new numbers to talk about. This is just basically all the transfer portals, anybody that changed the number from this year to last year that's still on the team, and the recruiting numbers. We got Earl Little playing the 1. I'm not going to go through all of them, bro. Nothing really crazy. Kenyatta Jackson going from 97 to 2 was kind of, interesting. And then Legend Bay being number 2, I think that was a big thing. Obviously getting compares to Curtis Samuel and all that. Injured at the moment. At the time of this recording, but he was making headlines the first week of practice or so. You got James Smith, Quay Russaw 3 and 4, Petty John at 5, Kyle Parker 5. You can go through the whole shebang, man. Yeah, I'm not going through it all, but very interesting nonetheless, bro. Now moving on to the gold pants. 6 years, bro. It took 6 years to get this shit, man. We haven't had these since spring 2020, bro. That is crazy, man, to think about. Like, when they said that, I'm like, yo, ain't no way it's been that long. 2019 was the last time we won, bro, obviously. So I'm like, damn, 6 fucking years, man. It felt good, man. I love it, man. I love it. A lot of people saying that, hey, I'm giving these gold pants to my mom, and I need my next ones for me. So I'm like, okay, that next one got to be this year. And it's basically, I think Jermaine Matthews said that. I think Kenyatta said that. I think someone else said that. Like, yo, we got to get these pairs. We got to keep getting these pairs. How you feeling about this?
Man, yeah, this is one of the things. Like, obviously, I follow Ohio State, and then I seen the gold pants. I'm like, oh my god, it's like, I'm not gonna say I forgot about it, but it's one of those things. Like, yeah, let me relive that moment of being the team up north. Finally after so long. It used to be like that was the standard. Be the team up north, go to the Big Ten, and try to get your business done. So it's like been so long since we did that. And it's like, I mean, speaking of going to the Big Ten, I mean, that's what we need to do, man. We need to go ahead, beat the team up north again, go back to the Big Ten. But man, just seeing the player with the gold pants after 6 years, man, it's great. Let's keep it going. Not much you could ask for, man.
Yeah, man. It's just crazy that we have a whole like from freshman to senior that don't got gold pants, bro. That shit is so like mind blowing to me, bro. Like Jack don't got no pants, bro.
No pants.
No gold pants, bro. That's crazy.
No.
He got a national championship though.
Yeah.
That's wild to me. But anyways,
the greatest run.
The guys were going pro and shit. Pro day happened, and basically, Ryan Day got a lot of glaze from the NFL coaches and stuff and scouts. They was like, "Ew, this is a really well run pro day compared to others."
Wow.
That was something that stood out because I think it was just how it was managed and everything. Everything was so clean. Everything was so like back to back to back. Just some notable things. Caleb Downs did hands drills. He was out there just running, dropping back, running, boom, give me an interception. Arvell Reese was doing the little dips. Compared to Ruben Bain out there. I
Yeah.
don't know why. I don't know why we're acting like this dude Arvell was playing off the edge, bro, the whole time or something, bro. Like obviously, the thing with Arvell and going high in the draft is like you can't draft the outside linebacker that high. So you want him to play edge. I'm not gonna lie, bro. When he hit the NFL, if he get to the wrong team and they don't know how to play him, bro, he's gonna look like a bust to them.
Yeah.
But like this dude is so like a freak of nature, bro. And if you play him right, bro, you just gotta give him time, bro. He's never played off the edge, bro. He doesn't play off the edge, bro. You can label him edge, bro, but he barely plays like that. Carnell Tate again, he ran a slow 40 in the combine. People were expecting him to run out the pro day. He was like, nah, bro. My speed, my 40 speed don't really mean much. I'm like, that's cool. One thing I seen was Tavian St. Clair and Julian Sand throwing. Maybe it's just me looking too deep into it, but because Julian Saint and TSE was the only quarterbacks that's still on his roster from last year, and they know the fucking players the most to throw to him. But I just thought it was interesting that Tavian's fucking throwing when it matters the most to these players, bro, and he's only in his second year. I think that shows either how good he is, and I think he's making some good passes out there, bro. There's some passes where I'm like, oh shit, he's actually like slinging that shit. Julian Saint as well, bro. I think he had 1 or 2 drops. That was his fault. But yeah, Carnell was running routes. Bi was running routes. CJ Donaldson in the backfield, he was catching passes. I don't know why CJ Donaldson's so underrated. I was watching him catch. He knows how to run. Like he is such a Swiss Army knife. I really hope he can go somewhere. But yeah, very interesting. All 32 teams were at the pro day, obviously. I'm just excited, man, because next year's when it matters. Bro, Jeremiah was just there, bro, and they was glazing him. They was like, why didn't you do it this year? He's like, I'm just gonna wait till next year, bro. I'm like, dude, this dude's aura farming and shit, bro. They send him up with the questions and shit, bro. So yes. But shout out B.I. for getting out there, man. I'm excited to see what he could do next year when it matters the most.
Indeed.
All right, we got some black stripe alerts. If you don't know, black stripes is basically you're finally a Buckeye. A lot of freshmen go into their whole season, and you don't. I don't know what the longest black stripe is that y'all have seen. Have y'all seen like juniors get their black stripe taken off? I think the most maybe a sophomore.
I think so. Yeah, spring. Yeah. Usually sophomores.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
But last year that got it in the junior year. I forgot who it was though, but I think there was. Damn. It was a name I've seen in a while.
Yeah. What position you think?
It was a DB.
DB? Okay. Interesting.
It was DB. Like, I remember checking it out because I was like, I remember your name.
Probably fucking Aaron Scott.
Nah, I wasn't Aaron Scott. But I remember seeing his name in the class, and I was like, I feel like you've been on a roster for a minute. I'm pretty sure he was a junior.
But it makes sense. Basically, black stripe is like, are you showing out at practice? Are you showing out in games?
Putting out work.
Opportunities. Yeah. And basically, a lot of people track this off like, yo, Jeremiah lost his in 3 days. And then this person lost it in 4. Oh my God, he's about to get stud. A lot of people overrate it. A lot of people, underrate it. I don't know. I just think it's a good progress meter to show the fans like how good or bad someone might be doing. Because if you're losing as a junior, just like VJ said, who the fuck is that? He's been on a roster for a while, but he hasn't done anything because he hasn't lost his black stripe. He hasn't made plays in practice.
Yeah.
So when you see freshmen do it early or like transfers, like we're about to talk about, those are 2 guys with black stripes, obviously. But yeah, it's very interesting because the first one up is we got Earl Little Jr. Earl Little Jr. is the same one from Florida State. I think he started at Alabama. Funny enough, went to Florida. I think did 2 years at Alabama and maybe did Florida State, or maybe it was just Alabama, Florida State, and now Ohio State. Anyways, maybe a transfer portal abuser. It doesn't matter. He's on my team now. He's about to go crazy. He's basically the replacement of Caleb Downs at this point. And he's looking good out there. Jeremiah Smith basically didn't want to reveal too much, and it's only spring. And he first one loses black stripe, so shout out him. Jalen McClain looking right next to him with the black stripe in hand. And then next up, we got another transfer. That one being Kyle Parker. He's the guy that came with Cortez from LSU. Basically, Kyle Parker's whole situation is he's good. He just hasn't been played a lot at LSU because there's a big ass wide receiver room. Maybe last year they were all ass. Maybe Kyle Parker should have got more minutes, but it is what it is. But again, bro, we not removing black stripes off just anybody, bro. You gotta be showing out, bro. If Kyle Parker's already doing this, I'm not gonna lie, he's gonna be playing the slot. So Brandon Ennis might have some competition, and you need to make sure he's on that. So yeah, shout out him. We're gonna talk about another wide receiver that lost a black stripe. And that one being Brock Boyd. This is the white boy from Texas that was a
Ooh.
3-star. He was ranked 700th in his class. This is a guy that's like, oh, this is not a usual OSU wide receiver. They go after 4 stars and 5 stars. Not knowing Chris Olave was a 3-star, but Brock Boyd has been turning heads. But there's also another guy on this team that's the number 1 wide receiver in the class, being Chris Henry Jr. And he hasn't lost his black stripe yet, Brock Boyd. And Brock Boyd's situation is also he's played in Texas. He put up like I think 3,000 yards in his entire career. But in that time, you're playing in Texas. That's the hardest. That's where football goes the hardest, especially in high school. And people basically was saying that his dad's a head coach. He has a football mind for this. He plays very smart. I ain't gonna lie, they was kind of downplaying his athleticism. But it's very interesting. They calling him White Lightning. They calling him White Boy Rick. I don't know what we going with, bruh. But this is the first white wide receiver I've seen that Ohio State actually do something in fucking a generation. I feel like it's been a while, but I'm excited because. Yo, bro, we got Chris Henry in this class too. Brock Boyd, I don't even know who Quincy Porter and Mylan Graham is no more. It don't matter to me, man. That 5 looked different on Kyle Parker, but shit, if he lost his black stripe already, man, maybe he's already better. I don't know.
I mean,
yeah.
Like, are we about to see Brock Boyd on the field before Chris Henry Jr.? Like, that would be crazy. That would be crazy.
That would be crazy.
But
I don't know.
I mean, it would just show, like, obviously we're fucking praying that obviously Chris Henry Jr., start as soon as possible on some Jeremiah Smith. But it's just like, seeing Brock Boyd, another receiver, in Chris Henry Jr. fucking class, getting the black stripe before him. He's really putting that work, and I mean, hard work pays off, and don't be surprised all of a sudden Brock Boyd's getting some more reps than we expect. So yeah, shout out Brock Boyd, man. Kind of excited.
Yeah, cause it was Brock Boyd, Chris Henry Jr. What's the last wide receiver? I forget bro name. He's a 4-star.
Oh yeah, like Jerquez, like Mc something from Indiana.
Guilford.
Yeah.
It's Guilford. He's another guy that's been turning heads. I mean, turning heads is like I've heard the name around type thing. So yeah, the fact that Brock Boyd beat out the 4 and 5-star that's in the same class as him, just goes to show maybe Texas football is different. And just shows maybe the star system is underrated, but also shows that like. Yeah, Brian Hartline actually knows what he's talking about, bro. If he's just fucking offering 3 stars and they're getting our black stripe removed like 2 days after Jeremiah Smith lost his and shit, because that's the comparisons with the black stripes. They always do the days and stuff. Carnell Tate lost it in 4 days and 4 practices. Yeah. But yeah, shout out Brock, man. I'm excited, man. Like we lost. I felt like we lost a lot in the transfer portal, but it's like, yo, bro, I'm already excited, bro. It's only spring. Finally, the last guy that lost a black stripe, and Brock Boyd and Allegro right here. They both lost on the same day. I don't know who's first. I just go by the post on the Ohio State football page. So shout out them. But yeah, Christian Allegro. He is the Wisconsin linebacker transfer. And in that game that we faced Wisconsin last year, he broke his like wrist or hand or some shit. He came back in the game with just a nub, bro. He just put his shit in a fist, wrapped that shit up, and was still out there. Ryan Day seen that shit. He obviously liked something about it and said, "Hey, bro, I'll offer you your last year. You come in this linebacker room. This is a linebacker room with Petty John, with Peyton Pierce, and Allegro should be fighting for that starting spot." And it looked like with that black stripe removed that he's doing something in practice that's turning heads. So yeah, shout out Christian Allegro. I think 3 years at Wisconsin, and now he's doing his 4th year here. I'm excited to see him play, bro. He's looking healthy. Don't got the nub on the hand no more. So yeah, this is another guy that's from. We got some transfer portals that's losing their black stripes immediately, bro. And we lost. I think Earl Little and what's his face what's it called? Kyle Parker lost their shit Friday, and then that next Monday, Allegro and Brock Boyd right there. So I don't know if we just like trying to catch up with these black stripes. They already performing, and we just waiting. I don't know. But yeah, that's 4 black stripes already. I'm excited, man. Like we already got the transfer portal, the recruiting class, losing their black stripes. I don't know, man. I'm just excited, man. I'm ready to see this show on the field, bro. But we like 7 months away. But we do got the spring game coming up in a couple weeks. That's something I want to see. And yeah, I'm pretty sure we can just go into the portal class and talk about it, because this is something that like I didn't want to touch on first, but we talked about some players. I gave my insight, whatever, but I wanted to leave it at the end because it's such old news. Dominic Kelly, he did have a play where he got dunked on by Chris Henry Jr., but it is what it is. He's coming from Georgia, definitely got a lot of playing time. He's gonna be here now. Connor Hawkins, the savior, should be not missing field goals like that one bum. That's likes to hit 57 yarders in fucking pro days and shit. He's coming from Baylor. Hunter Welching, he's gonna enter that. I think he's like a 7-year senior coming out of Northwestern. He's gonna be entering that tight end room. Earlier Jr., like I said, the Caleb Downs replacement. I don't like to put that pressure on him, but he looks like he's living up to it. Yeah, James Smith, Quay Russaw, the couple from Alabama, they moved on together, played high school together, Alabama together, now Ohio State together. Make decisions, with each other and shit. Vasheen Washington, Dartmouth. We haven't talked about the offensive line a lot. We returned 4 starters. The Shibula got the fuck out of there. We won't be trying to find replacements for him. Cam Calhoun, he played high school ball with Jermaine Matthews and they won a state championship together. This dude's been to the team up north, Alabama. We've been playing fucking backyard football in fucking anywhere, bro. He did. I think this is his 5th school. Obviously a super senior. Haven't really heard too much about him, but Jermaine, that's his best friend basically. Jacoby Jackson, this is somebody I don't know where to grade, because he's probably the running back 3. He basically was at Florida. They brought in a freshman running back, and he kind of went crazy. And he was like, "Yeah, maybe my job's out of here, so I'm gonna leave." Basically came here to replace James Peoples, and either him or Legend Bay is gonna get that running back 3 spot probably. What is this? A long snapper? Don't care about him. Not Shadow Riggs. Kyle Parker, we talked about him in a black stripe, came up with Cortez. Terry Moore basically didn't play last year because he was injured. He was all ACC the year he did play, and I'm pretty sure he's in his 3rd or 4th year now. But he's a safety. He's gonna be battling, I think, for the dime position. Who's the other dime? Roker. He's gonna be battling Roker for that position. I haven't heard too much about Timor, which kind of like scares me a little bit because I don't know. But shout out Roker. He in the first spring practice he stood up and basically talked to the team, trying to show that leadership. He's been here a while, so hopefully he can beat Timor, or maybe I just want the best player out there, so hopefully he can get some minutes. Devin McCune. Haven't talked about him a lot, but he's in the wide receiver room. He basically has put up the most stats from any transfer that we have. And that being Kyle Parker. He basically was the guy at UTSA. Is coming into this room and is going to try to be, I think, the opposite side of Jeremiah Smith. So good luck with that. But he's 6 foot, 195. So good luck with him. 3-star transfer. Mason Williams, another tight end coming from Ohio. He's a guy that I think is kind of be a steal. Hopefully, probably gonna be fighting for tight end in 1 spot for sure. Justin Martin, probably the most confusing guy on this team. He's basically a 5-year guy. Played at UCLA for 2 years. They had some coaching changes. He didn't get the spot. Went to Maryland, got beat out by a freshman as a senior, and now he's a super senior. So he's probably gonna pick up that playbook with Ryan Day. Hey, why we do this? Oh, why we do this? Oh shit, Julian Saint's injured. Tavian St. Clair's injured. I gotta throw the ball. Hopefully not. Yeah, shout out Justin Martin. Christian Lego, we talked about him, Wisconsin linebacker. Wow, yada yada yada. And then John Walker, UCF. I don't know too much about him. He's on a defensive line. And yeah, we brought in 2 Alabama guys on defensive line, so I don't know where he fits in. Just basically gonna compete at the end, see if he can get minutes. And yeah, that's basically all we got for that. Last question I have for y'all: who do we think is gonna get that Blocko on a jersey?
Obviously, me. You already talked about it, so I'm kind of here to hear what VJ has, if anybody.
You gotta have somebody.
Somebody.
I could.
What's some names that's pop into your head real quick? Just a few names.
Okay. To keep it simple, the Iron Buckeyes. I feel like they're qualifiable. It makes sense in their own right. Outside of them. Ooh. I could see it being maybe McLean. I mean, he's a part of the Iron Buckeye thing, but I feel like he's just like the most respectable one in terms of overall. I feel like it could always be that. I'll say him for defense. For offense, maybe someone on the O-line. I don't know who. Maybe Cerevel. Yeah,
I think Cerevel, man, he be carrying that flag, bro. He like the heart of the team, bro.
Cerevel would make sense. Him or Luke. I feel like those two like.
Oh, Luke is a good one. Luke is a good one. Yeah.
Why is Luke a good one?
Why Luke? I mean, he been sitting here and riding out with us for since the beginning of it. I'm not gonna lie, but you watch him literally develop into the player he is now. So it's like, I mean, I feel like that's what the block always represents. It's like who's been here showing us loyalty and really putting that work, and time after time again, coming back and just showing showing like they want to win more for us. They trying to get a redemption story, and they're just trying to make the legacy at Ohio State more than the couple years. Like, oh, he ain't just win a natty and just dipped immediately. Nah, he's like, I'm trying to get another one. So yeah. Then you want to touch up on who we think is going to be, Cameron?
Bananas, man.
Yeah.
Bananas. I think Kenyatta could be a sneaky one, man. That man changed from 97 to 2, and he was like, yeah, I couldn't have 2 because Caleb Downs looking at us and really laughing. But I don't know. I think Kenyatta is a good one for the Blocko for defense. I think BI. I think BI is just the obvious one, though.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like, I don't think he's attached to that number 1, man.
Nah, yeah.
I think
he just
has that.
Bro, I mean, that motivation. I'm trying to become a first round draft pick, bro. And he's like, shit, you want to put me at fucking Blocko? Hell yeah, fuck yeah, bro. What the fuck? I don't give a fuck. I'm trying to be that being that first round draft pick. Like, that's all he cares about right now, man. So that's why we thought at least BI. I mean, yeah.
Okay. Sonny Styles last year, Cody Simon the year before, Xavier Johnson the year before, Cameron Babb the year before.
Yeah.
Taylor Munford for the offensive line. There you go. Jonathan Cooper, 2020. I don't know. Like, seeing that fucking offensive lineman with that big ass.
Yeah.
It just looked funny to me. I don't know, man. I'm excited. I'm excited nonetheless, bro. Because, I don't know, I just love that we have the traditions like this.
Yeah.
We got gold pants, we got black stripes, we got this, we got that, bruh. There's no culture better than this shit, man.
Indeed.
This shit right here. All right, last thing is basically the end of it. I think we touched on everything.
Yeah.
I wanted to, at least. We got the YouTube channel. This is going to be where clips, shorter form videos. This channel is going to be where all the podcasts are, where us and the guys is just on here, just yapping about anything, bro. You got the anime pod. We got other pods that to be continued.
Anyways, yeah.
But we have this channel where you can just you longest form. Over here, this one, 8-minute video, 10-minute video. I'm gonna break it down and I'm gonna throw some. There's gonna be a better logo up here for sure. I just put my one up there for the time being. But yeah. Go subscribe to that. Should be a link in the description. And yeah, shorter form content, all the above. Yeah, man. I saw. VJ, you put up like 20 points, bro. You was doing your thing today. Nice. I swear you said like 3 sentences, man. But that's because he's injured. Yeah, man. He's like Legend Bay, fucking Petty John, all these injured Buckeyes. He'll be back next game. He'll be putting up triple doubles and shit. Slicks. Shout out to you, man.
Thank you
for doing your thing, man.
Try, man.
Just for doing your thing, man.
Thank you.
And shout out me.
Shout out you
for doing me.
Indeed, indeed.
Anyways, Slicks, you outro this.
Outro them. All right. I mean, yeah. I mean, like I said, Cameron basically said everything already. But hey,
like, comment, subscribe.
But nah, get ready. Obviously, we're like 7 months out before college football is back. But hey, like I said, we're gonna try to stay in tune as much as possible. But like Cameron said with the channel, if there's gonna be more, probably will be on that channel. This is like obviously more drawn out. Obviously, the podcast, the box sit down. But like I said, you want more Buckeye fan film room, go on that channel over there. But yeah, other than that, if you guys are new to the channel, you made it to the end of the video, consider clicking that subscribe button as it help out the channel a lot. But also, since you're already down, click that like button as well. But other than that, we appreciate all the love and support. We'll catch y'all when we catch you next. Peace.